It's Fake Talk, everybody. Welcome. Check this out. So we are Pacific Podcast and welcome to We Are Always Live with Samuel. Make sure you tune in. Hello, everybody. Thank you once again for tuning in to Fake Talk with Samuel. My name is Samuel Apia Dankyi, and it's pretty exciting to come your way once again with another episode of Fake Talk. Thank you to everyone who has been checking out our videos. If you're joining us for the very first time, I would like to welcome you. Um, on this episode, I'll be speaking with my buddy here, Mr. Nathan Yee. How you doing, Nathan?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Good to see you, and thank you so much for your time today. You're very welcome to Faith Talk. So let's start with school, right? We know that all of us are having to do this semester virtually because of COVID. So I just want to know how you're doing and how is your family? How is this whole pandemic going for you?
I really I hate staying at home. I don't like virtual learning. It's not fun. I get so lazy and so complacent about all my classes, even more than I had previously been. Um, and my family, I mean, they go out the same with extra precautions. So I just don't really get to see any of my friends, and it's lonely. I don't like it. It's not fun.
Mm. It sure is lonely, and it can really feel like that, especially um, if you can really get to, because all of our lives has really changed since May or February, since this whole pandemic began. But you mentioned you were a bio major, right? And so how difficult is that for you to be doing it virtually?
Um, the labs are extremely annoying. Um, to put it shortly and briefly, online labs, they don't make sense. They're meant to be an on hand, in person, hands on thing.
Hmm.
Sorry, and it doesn't make sense to just be watching videos of people doing things, especially silently, and they're just supposed to expect you to know exactly what they're doing and how they're doing what they're doing, and it's not. I don't think online labs should be a thing. They really could have done something better about this
Yeah.
transition.
That is something that I guess we all have to deal with. But when you look at the news or even the way this whole pandemic is going, we don't really seem to have any solution soon that we can be excited about. Does it make you hopeful or does it make you more worried about the future?
Definitely worried. I wouldn't be surprised if this continued over to the next year. I like hasn't been a solution.
Hmm.
People aren't helping when they're raving about anti-masking and oh I have a symptoms and I have something that prevents me from needing to wear a mask. I think that's stupid. Um,
There's
people
also
aren't.
Yeah, there's also been talks about probably having some type of a hybrid next spring to where people will have the option to either partially come on campus or continue their semester remotely. If we were to be given that option, what would be ideal for you?
It's scary thinking about being back on campus as much as I want to be. It sounds pretty dangerous still, and yeah, I would be scared to go anywhere in person. But it does sound exciting to return to school.
Mm. But again, you were speaking about the anti-masking and all the people that are going crazy just for something as simple as wearing a mask can be. So if we were to come back on campus and we have a bunch of people who, for whatever political or social or religious belief, because people are coming up with all kinds of excuses not to comply. How would that sit with you?
I don't think there's a good reason in any way, shape, or form to avoid wearing a mask. There's nothing religious about it. There's nothing political about it. It's not partisan in any way to choose to keep other people safe. So if I see some people not wearing masks, I think I would probably just stay home.
So, for everybody here on campus or anybody watching at school is also feeling the same way that we are all feeling hopeless or feeling sad and getting bored. One thing that I found yesterday on the news is apparently there's this new thing called pandemic fatigue. People are getting tired of being tired, and so that is why a lot of people are wilding out the way they are. What would be your message to people like that?
I feel you, man. I'm pretty tired of just being stuck at home. I personally don't like wearing masks. It definitely is difficult to breathe. Sometimes when I'm like walking alone in a very secluded place, I'll look around and I'll take off my mask for a little bit, breathe. It's not fun. I agree with everybody complaining, but I also want to keep myself safe. I want to keep other people safe. And so I get you. I'm exhausted of staying at home, being restricted like this, not being able to do the things that I want to, not being able to see the friends that I want to. But I want to keep myself safe. I want to keep my family safe. I want to keep everybody else safe. Wearing a mask is not about me as much as it is about other people.
Let's talk a little bit about the Bible. How much fun are you having with this class, and what
So
has been your experience so far?
I'm actually taking two Christian classes, which is
Oh,
really taking also the Christian tradition with another professor. They
okay.
complete GEs. I saw them; they were attractive to me. They helped me graduate. It's fun to know exactly what's going on and not being confused about really much.
Yeah. What do you say though? I mean, with the New Testament class, has it enlightened your knowledge about the Bible in any way?
Definitely. Um, Having to read a different part of the Bible, the New Testament, every single week to summarize it, that's definitely helped my understanding a lot more, especially the epistles and all the things that we intend to avoid, like Philemon. I've
Hmm.
never read that before, actually.
Yeah.
I also have never understood the importance of it. It's such a short little letter.
Yeah. It's weird how the Bible has all these little books in there. Some of them, like the Philemon, like you just said, it's like a one-page book, and it's hiding in there. And many a times we just skip it over, right? But speaking of the Bible, I want to know how much of your faith has been tested this year, given that um, we can't really worship the way we used to, obviously because of COVID. Would you say that the pandemic has drawn you closer to God, or has it made you a little farther away from Him?
I think I've been distant for sure. Same with online schooling. I'm not a fan of online worship. So I don't attend church as much as I used to. I used to go every week, drive myself to church, see my friends.
Mm.
Now it's more every other week. I have a friend who I like to call. We go on FaceTime together and we watch the sermon together. It's recorded. And I do that not so often, but I try to make that consistent. It's not fun. It's not the same. Definitely not the same.
So in that case, because of the fact that we are not able to be there in person, is really attributing to the you being a bit distant from your faith and the way you really want to worship. So in the long term, how do you see that playing out? Are you praying for this pandemic to be over soon enough so that we are able to go back in person safely, or how are you looking at that?
Um, Definitely would want to wait for the pandemic to be over. Um, I hear people all over the news like shouting about how going to church and church itself is an essential business. I gotta say, I disagree. It's essential for me and it's essential for my faith, yes, to go to church. But I'm surviving doing this online as much as I don't like it.
Hmm.
And so I'm I don't see why people are in such a rush to return to the building and be with people and endanger everyone around them. I've always seen that the church is not a place. It's not a building. It's not some place for people to gather. It's a people. It's a community. And so if I can have the same community, whether it's virtual or FaceTiming a friend, having a few friends over in my garage or my backyard to worship, that's still the church. I think that's still the same thing, and it's still just as meaningful. So I would definitely wait for the pandemic to be over. I'm not in any rush to return as much as I don't like it.
Definitely, definitely. So, any tips on how you're getting through this pandemic? Anything that you're doing to stay active? Anything you're doing to stay at least not as bored as things seem to be right now?
I've been going out alone, um, taking precautions, wearing a mask, having hand sanitizer with me. Um, I've just been enjoying my own free time. In terms of getting active, I'm a dancer, and so I've been taking classes online. It's not the same, of course, to be dancing around with your friends, but I've been taking classes. I've been trying to stay active. Um, it's not so bad for me. I think I've always identified as an introvert as well, and so it doesn't feel much different to
Mm.
before pandemic.
I think having to do this show, one thing that I'm realizing a lot with a lot of the guests that we've had is for the people that were extroverts before the pandemic, they are really struggling. As I mean, obviously you can, I guess you can understand why. And for people who have always been introvert or just like to chill and relax at home, they are not finding that much of a hassle to adapt to like the new way of life. Even though it's annoying, I remember I think it was Liliana that said she just wasn't an outgoing person to begin with, but she just enjoyed the fact that she could go out if she wanted to, right? Unlike we have now where it's like going out becomes a burden. You know, you have to put on the mask and you're kind of fearful for your safety because you don't really know what you're walking into when you go out, right? And so as we bring in this session to a close, I wanted to give you the opportunity to talk to our colleagues here on campus, or even anyone watching us who may be feeling down on themselves, or who may be going through, because this COVID is so many things, right? We have the health implications, we have the economic implications, and all that. So, what would be your goodwill message to everyone dealing with this time?
Stay strong. Um, it's tough. I feel you. I know. Like I've said, I don't like wearing a mask as much as anybody else. For people who were extroverts, I think find ways to reach out to people. FaceTime, Zoom. These are all ways that I've used to stay in contact with my friends and spend some more time with your family. Don't take that for granted.
Definitely, definitely. And so we would like to thank you, Nathan, so much for your time with us on Faith Talk. I've really gotten to know so much about you now, and I really appreciate you coming on to speak to us. And so that is our show. Thank you all for watching us. Hopefully, we come back with you with a brand new episode in the next couple of days or weeks. But until then, please be safe and let's take care of one another. God bless you and thank you for watching.